Hey guys, today I find myself back at the Milton Keynes Cinema to watch the film Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, which is directed by Gore Verbinski and stars Sam Rockwell, Haley Lou Richardson, Michael Penner and Zazie Beetz. Now the rest of this review I'm going to continue back at my place because of the way my schedule's worked out today. I just don't have time here to stay at the cinema, so let's get into it. The first thing is, I'd never even heard of this film, didn't know it was coming out, didn't really know anything about it other than seeing a very quick trailer tagged on to another movie, and I didn't really give it that much attention. Also, I don't know if this has actually received a wide release or not, especially amongst Odeon cinemas, because it wasn't in my local Odeon. I had to travel to Milton Keynes, as already explained, to watch this film. So let's start off with the story. I found it very, very compelling. It's a mix of Terminator and Live, Die, Repeat with the Tom Cruise film. Those two concepts mashed together, and then it's got the tonal vibe of Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. If you mash all those movies together, you get this movie, and it entertained me from start to finish. I really like the way the movie started out in a diner, and what it is about this guy from the future, who's played by Sam Rockwell, comes into this diner and has to assemble a bunch of people, the right bunch of collection of people, to go on the mission of trying to save the world from AI. And he's done this a number of times, like you do in Live, Die, Repeat, where you repeat the same day over and over. But this one was interesting from the point of, we didn't see those other days. You don't see him repeat the day over and over and over. You just see one of those days. And I thought that really kept the interest level. It made it different from seeing that plot concept used before. And it also kept the surprise element going too, because we were just there with Sam's character, or rather the other character he's with, and just going about it for the first time, not knowing what's going to happen exactly. And when I say you're not going to know what's going to happen exactly, this is one of the strangest movies I have seen in a very long time. Honestly, it's very trippy. There's some really weird stuff you see in this movie. I won't say any more than that there's a cat, and I think it's quite nightmare inducing, and some of the robots as well. Some of the stuff like that. Yeah, very, very strange. It's one of those movies that should not work, but somehow does. It flourishes. I really like the way this movie was directed. It started off with that diner scene, and I thought I was going to bat up against this, but it really, really helped us to get to know the characters. It would do like a flashback scene to a certain character, and then we get to know why they're, what they were doing in the days leading up to the diner, and then it would come back to the diner scene and how then that progressed, if they moved out of the diner to where they would be going, and it would flash again back to someone else. And that really helped you to get to know the characters. Like I said, at first, when I saw that, I thought, no, I just want to live in the moment. But somehow, this, like I said, I think in other films I wouldn't have liked that, but in this one, it really just worked for it. Gore Verbinski's other movies are Pirates of the Caribbean. He did the trilogy of those, and also the remake of The Ring, which I really, really enjoy. I still love that movie. I don't actually like a lot of horror movies, but that one I really do have a really stand out. In fact, actually, when we think of The Ring and think of this, the way The Ring took you on a journey is how this film does that successfully as well. It really pulled me in on that ride for that film, and it done the same thing here as well. So full credit to the director for that. Now into the performances, top to bottom, everyone was very, very good in this film. And once Sam Rockwell's character had assembled his team, did I start recognizing some of the other actors in this movie. I think Sam Rockwell probably gave one of the best performances I've ever seen him do in a movie. He carried this movie. I mean, that's not to say everyone else didn't play their part, but honestly, the guy was on fire. He really sort of pulled you in, really gripped you into the story, but he was really, really funny. This is a very, very funny movie. And I recently watched a dark comedy, and I did say in that review that I don't like a lot of dark comedies. Now, I did mention Shaun of the Dead, I did mention The World's End, and I absolutely love those. And I think what this movie gets right, which is what they did as well, those two films, is they are really, really funny, but somehow they still pull you into the story, still make you feel the stakes. A lot of them really just lose you in that. They become so it becomes so blasé about the whole thing that you just do not care what is going on. So the moment you're kind of out of fuel from laughter, that it just literally just loses you about halfway through. But this one didn't. It literally kept me from start to finish along for the ride. I was laughing throughout. As I said, Sam Rockwell's performance was fantastic. I think this is going to be one of those movies where it's going to reward you for having seen it again and again, because you're just going to notice the little details you didn't notice the first time. This movie has a very strong themes. It really does have a message that it tries to drive forward about society, about how our culture is, and it's not the first movie to do it, but I thought it explored all of it very, very well. So now let's go on to the rating. Well, no surprise, of course I enjoyed this movie, but I would actually put this movie in the excellent category because it was very, very, very good. I do urge you to go out and see it if you haven't done so already. And I'm quite surprised, as I said earlier, that it hasn't got as wide a release as I thought it would. I know it's showing in some of the other cinemas like Vue and maybe Cineworld are showing it, but quite surprising that Odeon didn't have this as one of their tentpole movies, one of these big movies. But yeah, definitely worth seeing. So if you have seen it, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of the movie? Also, if you've made it this far in the video, then leave us a like and subscribe, and check out the other playlists where you can watch some of my older movie reviews. I seem to be doing quite a lot of movie reviews over the locations and attractions, just the way my schedule works out, but I will be putting more on the channel to do with locations and attractions when I can do so. But thank you again for watching, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.